No, I think, it's especially around this time, especially because there are a lot of people that, and I think that this is one of those things that, like, you're just supposed to go through. It's one of those things you're supposed to go through is, is questioning your reality, questioning the things and everything else that has been placed upon you up until this point. Um, the things you've been taught and so on and so forth. We're at that point, consciousness, awareness, where we get to not constantly, but constantly choose, constantly choose what we want our life to be. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to that, I think when it comes to that, it's just all about just having faith. And I keep on talking about this shit for the longest. Um, but everything else doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like nothing, nothing else matters after that. As much as we want to think that something else matters, and as much as we want to think that, like this is going on and that's going on, or we're missing out on this, or whatever the case may be. 9 times out of 10, especially when you're at this point, 9 times out of 10, the shit that you used to do, you don't want to go back to doing it. You don't want to go back to doing it. You don't want to go back to how you used to be. As much as we feel like uncomfortable, as much as we feel doubtful and everything else when it comes to these sorts of things, 9 times out of 10, if we had the option to do show. If we had 9 times out of 10, we probably wouldn't want to do it to begin with. Because we just realized how far we came. We realize individually, we realize how far we came, both internally and externally. And just thinking about all that, you start to appreciate the journey more. You start to appreciate what you've been through more. You start to appreciate these things. All of it is just feeling at the end of the day. 9 times out of 10, things going to keep happening anyway, regardless if it's good or bad. Things is going to keep happening in this life. And with that being said, it's about being indifferent. It's about being indifferent. It's about being indifferent with nature and things like that. There's no good or bad. It just is what it is. And that comes with you as well. You know, that comes with you as well. All the vices we carry and everything else, man. All the good habits, the bad habits, everything that we cultivated, all lies within you. And let me tell you something. You know, the things that we experienced and everything else, man. The one thing you have to realize is no one didn't fucking tell you to do some of these things to begin with. Regardless of what we was taught and everything else, 9 times out of 10, you did it. You experienced it. From a video game perspective. You experienced it. You're the one that did all the side missions and you're the one that explored more than you should have. Not realizing that, you still have to do the main mission. You still have to finish the game. Because that's all it is. It's just a game. You experience something, it doesn't exist no more. The characters doesn't exist until you give it power. When you don't give it power, when you don't give enough attention, the characters ain't there. The only thing you have is just a memory of it. Excuse me. That's all you have, just a memory of these things. And with that being said, there's no reason to trip or get bugged down about these things. No, there's no reason to. From a video game perspective. From a movie perspective, the story is still going on. You're the main character. You're the main character in your own story. The story's still progressing. The story must unfold. Regardless of how you feel about it. Regardless of how you feel about it, the story's going to keep on unfolding. It's going to continuously keep on unfolding. Again, regardless of the fact, you're not going to lead yourself astray. At the end of the day, when it comes to yourself, it's all about righteousness. We always, at least I think, I assume, we always try to move with the intent of righteousness. Just move with the intent of being kind and so on and so forth. And there's sometimes that the most you can do that. Maybe I'm not making sense, but have unconditional love when it comes to you, and I explain that. That's just regardless of the fact. Please, God.